Thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, Ms. Bonamici. Ms. Ansari, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Welcome back from your 8 weeks of taxpayer-funded vacation. It's good to see you, and I hope
I'm going to
that
interrupt you.
Republicans
I'm going to
enjoy-
interrupt you, please.
Please.
I am sick and tired of hearing you all say we had an 8-week vacation.
That's exactly what
I
happened.
worked every day. I don't know about you, but
I
I don't want to
worked
hear
every single
another
day as
soul
well. We all worked
say
every
that.
single day, and that's exactly what happened with Speaker Mike Johnson.
You're recognized.
I hope that you all enjoyed yourselves while American families looked at their letters from their health insurance companies, terrified that their insurance premiums were going to double or triple while the House was out of session for 53 days. That is unacceptable, Madam Chair. Now, we are back here to vote on a terrible partisan spending bill that will deepen a healthcare crisis that you did create. By first stripping away Medicaid from 15 million people, that is a fact. I'm sorry that you deny that fact, but that is a fact of the matter in the bill. And by refusing now to extend the Affordable Care Act, healthcare premium subsidies that keep coverage affordable for American families. And you also did all of this while engineering the most unprecedented transfer of wealth from the working class and poor Americans to the wealthiest people in this country. That is another fact. The Republican shutdown lasted 41 days. It is the longest shutdown in American history. 41 days of unpaid federal workers and families losing access to food assistance. 41 days of families skipping meals and seniors delaying care because Donald Trump chose to use hunger and healthcare as leverage. The callousness and corruption is astounding. Donald Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson, throughout this entire time, did absolutely nothing. They did not lift a finger to try to negotiate a real solution on any of this. What was Donald Trump doing during this time? I know that he announced plans for his $350 million ballroom funded by billionaires and corporations. I know that he was traveling around the world to Asia. He hosted a huge Great Gatsby party. I don't know if anyone here was invited. The night before, 42 million Americans lost access to SNAP assistance. He is acting like a king while millions of people in this country are suffering. That is unacceptable. And Speaker Mike Johnson, throughout this time, he has not just enabled this corruption, he has actively participated in it. That's why I staked outside of his office last week, to be absolutely clear about what's been happening. Mike Johnson is starving Americans and gutting health care to cover up the Epstein files. And I want to explain exactly why and how he's doing so, because the public deserves to understand it very clearly. Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva, who is from my state of Arizona, would be and will be the 218th signature on the discharge petition. 218 is the number needed to force a vote on the floor, whether the speaker wants one or not. And when Adelita is seated tomorrow, finally, after 49 days since she was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, Speaker Johnson's going to lose control. Because then every single member of Congress on the Republican side and our side will have to go on the record and answer one very simple question. Do you want to support and protect the release of the Epstein files, or do you want to protect the names of the men who were involved in the crimes? That's the vote that Speaker Johnson has been running from. There's been plenty of reporting that the White House and Speaker Johnson have been actively working throughout this entire period to threaten the 4 Republican members of Congress who are on the discharge petition, to get one of them to come off of that discharge petition, because that is their #1 priority. That's what's been happening. It is a cover-up, and Speaker Johnson must and should be investigated. Now Republicans want to move on as though none of this ever happened. We cannot rush through a funding bill that raises costs and leaves families worse off in the middle of Trump's affordability crisis. So I have amendments at the desk, first to guarantee that the American people are not forced to subsidize Donald Trump's $350 million ballroom, a private palace where his billionaire donors will be rewarded with access and influence. These amendments also require complete transparency on which corporations and ultra-wealthy individuals are financing this project and what they are receiving in return. Second, to ensure that this bill cannot take effect until ACA premium tax credits are renewed, because if and when they expire, premiums will skyrocket and people will lose health care. The corruption and heartlessness of these policies must end. I urge the committee to support these amendments in order for us to have a real debate on protecting American families and on restoring trust in government that Donald Trump is dismantling. I yield back.
Mr. Subramanian, you're recognized.
Subramaniam. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have one